friends. How are you on this beautiful Sunday morning? If you're new, welcome. And if you've been here before, welcome back to Canyon Hills Presbyterian Church's Sunday School. I am so happy you're here. I'm happy I'm here. We're still online, and that's awesome that we can do that. I'm at home today, and I bet some of you are at home, or maybe at the beach, at the pool. I know every Sunday is different. We can always be different places. Maybe you're on vacation. That would be awesome. I know vacation and being around people and doing things is a little different this year with COVID-19, but that's okay. We can still have fun. We have to be safe, of course. You need to wear your mask, wash your hands, and stay how far apart? 6 inches? Is that what I heard? No, 6 feet, which is taller than I am. But that's okay. We can stay safe that way, and that way we can still have fun. I thought I'd talk to you today a little bit about washing your hands. I know, you're washing your hands a lot. Me too. And I know you've probably been talked to it 1,000 times. Guess what? This is 1,001. I'm going to help you wash your hands. Okay, let's see. First, we would need water and a sink, which I am not going to go over to, but I'm going to show you. I want to put at least 2 pumps of soap on. I want bubbles. A little bit of water in there. Now, how long do you think you wash your hands? Do you just kind of get the soap, water, done? What was that, 2 seconds? No, you need to wash your hands for a full 15 seconds. Now, the best way to do it is while you're washing your hands, you count to 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Wow, that seemed like forever. But what it does is we get all those germs gone. And with the friction, which is rubbing your hands together, that also helps. So for 15 seconds, if you can wash your hands for 15 seconds, also with the hand sanitizer, when you pump it on, make sure you've got enough to keep your hands wet for 15 seconds. So you want to count while you're rubbing and rub good, get that friction so you almost feel some heat in there, and that'll kill all the germs. So if you wear your mask, wash those hands for 15 seconds, stay 6 inches, 6 feet apart, you are going to stay healthy, and you're going to help other people stay healthy. And then we can go back to school, and we can go on vacations, and we can see our friends whenever we want to, or go to a restaurant. So we just all have to work together at this time. So I know we're having fun in summer. Could be a little funner if we didn't have to wear the mask and everything, but that's okay. Because you know what? We're going to do what we have to do. And then when it's over, it's over. And we can go back and have our fun with our friends whenever we want. Today, I am going to tell you a story about a king who had a really hard heart. Now, can you put your hand on your chest like this, like when you put your hand over your heart to say the Pledge of Allegiance in school? And you guys still do that? Can you feel your heart? A little bit? Sometimes you can right there. Or you can do it right here on your wrist with 2 fingers right there on your wrist. You put it on, you can feel it. Now, we all know we have a heart, because if we didn't have a heart, the blood wouldn't circulate through our body. So we have to have a heart. So when I say his heart was hard, it was like his emotional heart was very hard. He was not a very nice king. So we're going to learn how this king becomes nice. Have you guys ever done this? Make a C. Kind of curve it in like that, see a C, and make a C backwards, and put them together. And what do you have? Do you have a heart? Yeah, a little heart. Maybe you do it like that. Do a heart like that. You can see me through it. Sometimes people do that so that they can say, I love you, or I care about you, but they can't really talk, or in a picture they might do this. So something kind of fun. So you can make a C with your thumbs down or up a little like that, either way, and you can make a heart. So I will be back in a couple of minutes, and we will get going on our story about that king. Bye for now. Okay, I'm back. Now this story is a little bit long, but I think it's a really important story for you to hear. So I'm going to try and hold it up as best I can and read at the same time so that you can see the pictures, and I'll explain along the way. But I think it's just an important story to learn how some people have a very mean heart, not very nice, but they can become a very happy, healthy, excited, giving heart. So I'm going to read this story to you. The burning bush. Moses was watching his sheep in the very hot sun. Dry desert. Suddenly, he saw a very strange sight. Flames! Oh, that would scare you. He's in the middle of the desert and he sees flames. There weren't fire trucks like there are now. Flames of fire came from the bush, but the bush did not burn. So this bush was on fire, but it wasn't burning up. The fire wasn't moving up the hill. It was just in the bush. He looked around the bush one way. He looked around the bush the other way. Moses! Moses! Said the loud voice. Moses was kind of scared. Here I am, he said. Take off your shoes, the voice thundered. The place that you were standing is holy ground. They did not wear their shoes on holy ground. Moses kicked off his sandals, keeping his eyes on that flaming bush. He was very interested in that flaming bush that was not burning. I am the God, the voice said. Moses hid his face. He was so afraid to look at God. Would you be afraid to look at God? I think I would. Not because he's bad, but because he's so big and gracious and just wonderful that sometimes it's overwhelming. I heard my people in Egypt crying, God said. My people are hurting. I have come to save them. Wow, thought Moses. How will God do this? Go, said God. I am sending you to Pharaoh to ask him to let my people go. Me? You want me? Said Moses. Who am I to go to Pharaoh? Who am I to lead your people? Moses just didn't have confidence in himself. He didn't think it was anyone special to be doing what God was asking. He thought it needed to be a much more special person. He threw himself down on the ground before God, but he kept one eye open as he laid there by the burning bush. I will be with you, God said. Moses trusted God. He was willing to do anything God had said. God gave Moses the words and the power he needed to talk to the Pharaoh and lead his people out of Egypt. Pharaoh is another word for like king. So, free from slavery. When Moses was alive, the Hebrew people were called the Israelites. Many Israelites were slaves in Egypt. That meant they did all the digging and the building and the feeding and the washing. They rarely had any time for themselves. They had very little food, and it was very hot. Moses and his brother Aaron were their leaders and went to Pharaoh, the king of Egypt. They said, "Our God said to let our people go." "I don't believe in your God," said Pharaoh, "so I am not going to do it. Get your people back to work." God said to Moses in a thundering voice, "Watch what I will do to Pharaoh. He will let my people go. Tell my people, I will free all of you and bring you back to the promised land I promised Abraham." Because they had been slaves for so long, it was hard for these people to believe Moses. They had been doing this for many, many years, and they thought this was just going to be their life. So God ordered, again, "Tell Pharaoh to let my people go." Moses worried that Pharaoh might not listen to him, but Moses did what God said. The plagues. Pharaoh didn't listen to God. He didn't believe in God. He had a very hard heart. But things were going to happen that might just make him think something else. God gave Moses a big job. Moses had to stand up to a very stubborn king who was not going to change his mind. God told Moses, "Go to Pharaoh and say, 'Let my people go.'" Well, Moses is kind of like, "This isn't really working. He keeps saying no." Pharaoh wanted the people to worship him, not God. That's what he wanted. This king wanted everybody to bow down to him and not to praise our fabulous God. Well, things were going to happen. So God used 10 ways called plagues to change Pharaoh's mind. God turned the river Nile into blood, which is not very pleasant to even think about. They could no longer drink the water. God sent frogs to hop everywhere, even into their beds, even into the baker's food as he was baking it. And Pharaoh still said, "No, I am not letting your people go." God thought gnats might change Pharaoh's mind. Do you know what little gnats are? They're those little tiny bugs that can get in your eyes, your nose, your mouth. Well, he didn't just send a few. God sent millions of them. And the gnats swarmed people and goats and cows, and you couldn't get away from them. But you know what Pharaoh said? "No, I'm not letting your people go." Can you believe that? Flies. You guys know what flies are. One is annoying. Thousands can be awful. Flies thought God will do the trick. God actually sent a zillion. That's more than a million. Way more. It must have been just dark and black all the time with all the bugs. And Pharaoh still said no. Can you believe no? He said again. God now struck down Pharaoh's herds. The camels became sick. The donkeys and horses, they all fell sick. His cows fell down. And what did Pharaoh say? Let me hear y'all say it. No. He said no again. He was letting all this happen to all his animals, to all his people. And he still said no. That's not a nice king. Ooey gooey, icky sores on everybody's skin. God knocked and knocked on Pharaoh's heart. Pharaoh never let God in. He had those sores. You get a big sore and it hurt all over everyone's bodies, even Pharaoh's. And what did he say? Let's all say it together. No! He said no! He would not let them out. He would not let them free. Hail pounded, thunder crashed. Pharaoh's plants laid down. Not a tree stood anywhere. All were on the ground because it's very scary if you heard thunder and lightning. Very scary to see and hear, but this was everywhere, all over, constantly going on. And again, let's say it together. What did Pharaoh say? No, no, I will not free the people. Let my people go, said God, or I will send a swarm of locusts to devour what is left to your land. And he again, let's say it. The Pharaoh said, no, no, I will not free your people. His heart was so hard. But see what happens. Now darkness covered Pharaoh's land. The sun never came out anymore. It was only dark, only nighttime all the time. No one could move, no one could see. Still, the Pharaoh said, let's say it together, no, no, I will not free your people, God, no. The last and saddest plague of all brought sobs throughout the land. Parents cried as their children died. Finally, Pharaoh changed his plans. Pharaoh let God's people go. Why do you think Pharaoh was so mean? Why do you think that he just wouldn't let them go? God worked and worked through Moses and through the plagues. But finally, Pharaoh saw that God was good, that he just needed to let these people go so they could have their own land and do their own thing and take care of themselves. Pharaoh. But one thing, but God is always in the process of softening our hearts so that we can show kindness and love to others. He had to work hard on Pharaoh. And maybe there's some friends out there or people that you know or have heard of that their heart is as hard as Pharaoh's. And they say, no, I'm not going to help you. I'm not going to give to you. I won't take care of them. But you know what? God never stops. God never stops trying to soften our hearts so that we can love, give to others, help others, be friends to others, especially during this time. Sometimes it's just nice to call somebody on the phone and say hi, do a Zoom fun party with your friends, things to make people feel good, soften their hearts. There are some that are like Pharaoh. It's very hard. God never stops. And the rest of us who already have our hearts soft, he just throws more love and more into us, more faith, so we can share our faith. We can go witness to others and make them feel good, make their hearts soften. So I hope you like that story. I like it because I like to see our hearts full, just full to want to give to others, and love to see your little hearts full. Because as young as you are, now you're going to grow up with your heart soft and full of love and faith and hope. And the older you get, the bigger it gets. And the more you have in there, and the more you have to give. So I just really hope that you tuck that story in your heart and you share it with others. Alrighty, you've got music now. Now Miss Kathy's still hurting a little bit from her fall, so I won't be dancing. I can sing the words, but I can't dance yet. So hopefully next week I can do that. And after that, I will be back with a really fun art project. Bye.
1, 2, 3. From my heart, with all my soul, from my mind, all my strength. 1, 2, 3. Ah!
Father Abraham had many sons, and many sons had Father Abraham. I am one of them, and so are you. So let's all praise the Lord. Right arm, left arm. Father Abraham had many sons, and many sons had Father Abraham. I am one of them, and so are you. So let's all praise the Lord. Right arm, left arm, right foot, left foot. Father Abraham had many sons, and many sons had Father Abraham. I am one of them, and so are you. So let's all praise the Lord. Right arm, left arm, right foot, left foot. Nod your head, turn around. Father Abraham had many sons, and many sons had Father Abraham. I am one of them, and so are you. So let's all praise the Lord. Right arm, left arm, right foot, left foot. Nod your head, turn around, jump up and down. Clap your hands, stomp your feet, say amen, amen, say amen, amen, say amen, jump up and down, clap your hands, stomp your feet, say amen, now sit down.
Jesus loves me, this I know. For the good Lord tells me so. Little ones to Him belong. They are weak, but He is strong.
Yo.
Yes, Jesus loves me. Yes, Jesus loves me. Yes, Jesus loves me. The Bible tells me so. Jesus loves me, He who died. Heaven's gate to open wide. He will wash away my sins. Let His little child come in.
Yo.
Yes, Jesus loves me. Yes, Jesus loves me. Yes, Jesus loves me. The Bible tells me so.
together as high as you can. You guys ready? 1, 2, 3.
With all my heart, with all my soul, with all my mind, with all my strength, with all my heart, with all my soul, with all my mind, with all my strength. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, with all your strength. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, with all your strength. Oh yeah. I will love you, Lord, with all my heart, with all my soul, with all my mind, and with all my strength. Yes, that's the book for me. I stand alone on the Word of God, the Bible. The Bible. Yes, that's the book for me. I stand alone on the Word of God, the Bible. Give me a P. Give me an I. Give me a P. Give me an L-E. The B-I-B-L-E. Yes, that's the book for me. I stand alone on the Word of God, the B-I-B-L-E. The B-I-B-L-E. Yes, that's the book for me. I stand alone on the Word of God, the B-I-B-L-E. I stand alone on the Word of God, the
Well, how was dance and singing and moving and kind of getting the wiggles and giggles out? I know it's always fun. I look forward to getting back to moving again. I'm still in a little bit of pain, so I have to be careful, but I can sing. I do like singing the songs. Okay, this I think is a really fun project. One, again, I think you can do at home. You probably have most everything. What I did, which you do not have to do, is I printed out different things. I did a ladybug here. I did a flower over here. You can see my flower. Or you can just do random glue. But what you're going to do, like with the bug, is you take your glue, just Elmer's glue, any glue you've got, and you're going to actually trace. I shut my glue. That's a good thing to do. You're going to trace the black lines with the glue, and you're going to put enough to try and cover the black lines as much as possible. And I'm going to trace out the wings, because I won't take the time to trace it all out, but I'll show you. Trace some of it out so you can see that I've traced that. You can see it's white. Or if you want, you can just do this and just do different lines around and circles, and however you want to do it, you can do that. You can print out fire trucks, race cars, dinosaurs, ladybugs like I did, flowers like I did, things like that. Then you're taking salt, just regular salt, and you can dump it on there. And I did my other one on a tray or on a plate so that I don't lose any of my salt. And you put it right on the glue. And then I just kind of move it around with the loose pieces. So it hasn't touched any glue yet. So we're trying to get to stick to all the glue. and get it to look kind of crystally. I'm going to put a little on here on the bottom and just kind of move it around a little bit. Trying not to get too much maybe on the floor or something. I have a tray. I always have my tray set up down here. I'll show you that in just a minute. So I've got that. So I kind of shake off the excess. And you can see that I've got like little crystal edges. Now I did it on my flower too. The flower I made a little while ago, so it's a little harder. And what I've done is I have made, if you can see right there, some colors. And what I did is you put a little bit of paint and a lot more water, so it's very liquidy. So you just kind of getting a little, I'm putting a little bit of paint, a little purple on my brush, and I'm barely touching the salt, and the salt is just grabbing my color. So if I'm putting it on there, hopefully you can see this, it's just, the color is just soaking in really fast. So I think I'll put a little purple up in here. Maybe there, a little salt falls off, but that's okay. A little salt falls off. Okay, I'm going to add, I've got a little bit of a green here. And maybe I'll put the green on here, and it's just, you just barely touch the salt and it just soaks in really fast. So what you're doing is you're getting the coolest 3D picture. And all you had to do was add salt to glue. So I'm going to add a little bit of blue here, and just look how fast that goes on there. Just a little bit. It doesn't take very much. I've just got a little bit of color and water on my paintbrush. I got paintbrushes for my home, so I could do these projects with you. So I just think that that is so cool that it does that. I'm add a little more purple to this leaf, this petal. And I mean, you just barely touch that, and the salt just absorbs all that really pretty color. And I've got yellow over here too. So I think I'll just put a little bit of yellow in here. Maybe bring it around a little bit. And it just soaks up all that pretty color like that. And then my ladybug that I just did, you can do it too. And I did the scribbles right here. So let's see, let's add a little bit of green to my scribble. Same thing, it just soaks it right up. You don't have to wait till it dries. My flower I made a while ago, but this I just made in front of you. And look at that. Look at how it just soaks up the color. I just barely touch it with the paint and water. And I think I'll do a little bit of lavender over here by the green. And look at that. I just think that is so fun and can be so pretty that you guys can even put these in your bedroom or on the fridge or someplace just to decorate. Maybe you can do a birthday card for a friend like that. You know, you could write happy birthday. Maybe I'll put a little bit on the ladybug. I don't have red, so I'll put a little bit of purple on her. Maybe a little blue. I think I'd like a little blue on her. But that would be really fun if you did a happy birthday card for a friend, and the outside or even the inside you could do write happy birthday and then color it. I think that would just be so much fun. Just a little bit. There you go. So all that was a print or not a print. You've got your glue, salt, and I don't even have that much salt. I did not use that much salt. And I took my colors and I put them in a very shallow dish, and I added a little bit of color and a lot of water. So it's got quite a bit of water, so it's very liquidy, so that when you touch the salt, it just wants to absorb all that water. And when it's absorbing the water, it's absorbing the color. So I just think that's a fun thing, something you can probably do at home. You probably already have everything. So I think that you can try that one. Another fun project to do. It's always fun to learn something new. I love doing it. So I hope today that you learned how to make your heart soft and full of love and faith and hope in God. That God never stops working. That God is always there. He's always there for us, and He wants us to come to Him in prayer and talk to Him and be kind and nice and giving to others. So I just hope that you put that story in your heart and you share it. And you always have a full and kind and soft heart. And we can always, we can do our heart. We can do our heart. We can do our heart. We can always have our hearts out there for each other. So you have a fabulous, safe week. And what I always tell you, tell moms and dads thank you for everything they do for you. And I'll see you next Sunday.